Hi, I'm Carl Steffen here, reporting for Del Val TV. I'm here at Mr. Mormel with a few questions. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Good, good, good. I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
You've been in education for quite some time now. Would you please describe how your background led to coming to Del Val?
Sure. I've been a guidance counselor for 18 years before coming to Del Val in August. Most recently I was at Hopewell Valley down in Pennington, which is about a half hour south from here. I was there for 13 years. And then before that I was at Notre Dame High School in Lawrenceville for 5 years as a guidance counselor. My supervisor at Notre Dame High School was Mrs. Severa.
Okay.
So she was my supervisor there for 5 years, so I know her very well, and she knows me very well. Also, I was a basketball coach at Notre Dame and at Hopewell Valley. So that was my experience with Delaware Valley, was through basketball. We used to play Delaware Valley on we at Hopewell Valley used to play every first Saturday of the season.
Okay.
And I believe you played
in
my last season of coaching at Hopewell Valley. You played in a game where you guys,
I remember the game very clearly.
Delaware Valley came down and beat us.
Yes.
I think you guys came back and beat us by 2. It was a very good game. So I know Coach Jacobs very well, and I think he's a very good coach, and that we here at Delaware Valley are lucky to have him as our coach. That was my experience with Delaware Valley from the outside, and I always knew that it was such a pretty campus. I always liked coming from Hopewell Valley on the bus to the game. I always liked driving up the hill on 519 and looking over and seeing the campus of Delaware Valley. It kind of reminded me of a Field of Dreams type of a campus. So when I heard about the opening over the summer, I remembered my experiences at Delaware Valley, and right away I said that's the type of place that I would like to be a vice principal. So I applied, and I was fortunate that I got the job. I got the job late in the summer, so it was a very fast start for me. I had to learn a lot of things quickly, but it's been a good start so far.
And what exactly are your responsibilities here at Del Val?
My main responsibilities are for discipline, student discipline, as well as attendance. So making sure students behave so the school can function, and then also making sure the students get to school so they can learn what they need to in order to do well. I'm also the supervisor of the science department, which I think is a very strong department. But I have unofficial responsibilities with Mr. Romanitz. He's been a great principal for me to work for as a first-year vice principal. He's been including me in a lot of his responsibilities, so it's given me a good experience on all the different things that a principal is involved with, such as maintaining the school building, dealing with different people, dealing with the superintendent. So I've been learning a lot in my first couple of months here at Delaware Valley.
Okay, let's talk about the Del Val student. What was your initial impression of the typical student here at Del Val?
I really got my first impression of the Delaware Valley student at our fall pep rally, and I came away very impressed. I'm used to, in my 2 previous high schools, I'm used to pep rallies with a lot more apathy on the part of the students. So when I came to see our pep rally here at Delaware Valley, I was blown away by the pride that I saw in the students here, the support that the non-fall athletes had for the fall athletes, and then also the encouragement that the fall athletes gave to one another. The soccer players gave to the football players, and the cheerleaders gave to the different teams. Male and female, I saw a lot of support going on both ends. So that was my introduction in many ways to the Delaware Valley student was with the pride, to see the pride that they have in their fellow students. I also think that the Delaware Valley students are involved, which I think is a great thing. You know, from the marching band to the plays and athletics, we have more than half of our students involved.
Yes.
And I think that's such a key to having a good school atmosphere, is getting kids involved so they have a stake in what Delaware Valley is, how they want it to be.
And what about the staff?
The staff, I'm very impressed with our staff here, both my science department and all the departments across the board. I see them as being very dedicated to their craft. They want to do a good job. I see them as talented. I think they're talented at what they do, which I think the students appreciate. And I see them as caring. I think they have a genuine concern for the students, that the students are learning, that the students are comfortable in school.
We don't have to dwell on the next subject too long, but what about the new HIB laws at Del Val? What do you think about that?
Well, I think there's a need for anti-bullying laws statewide. I understand why the state enacted the laws. The laws have been around, but they've made us much more aware of them starting in September of this year. We've had a lot of cases of HIB here that we've dealt with successfully, and I think that's the true intention of the law, is that these cases of bullying, which might have been ignored or disregarded in the past, are now being dealt with in a way that produces better feelings for students towards each other, and then a better school atmosphere. I think overall, what HIB has done, and we've talked to the students in probably for a total of about 3 hours on this topic. It's gone on and on. What I think we're getting more caring students towards each other. I think that's been the bottom line with HIB. I think we have genuinely nice students here at Delaware Valley that have taken upon themselves to show that more.
Okay, finally, after being for Del Val for over 2 months now, what are some ideas that you think can improve the school?
I think getting students involved in initiatives would be good. I think it's a positive that students are so involved in all the different activities at the school. And I think getting students more involved in the decision making, I see student council as being a big part of any high school. I know student council right now is working on a proposal to allow iPods in study halls, which Mr. Romanitz and I are definitely going to take a look at. I think that's a great example of how students can get involved and impact the school atmosphere in a positive way. What I also want to do with the HIB Action Committee is we're talking about forming a leadership council where we'll have the leaders of the different activities throughout the schools come together in a forum to address many issues here at the school, ways that we can make things better for all students. One of them being HIB. How can we help that kid that maybe needs the help but goes under the radar? I think our leaders in the school, from the play to the sports to the marching band, they're in a great position to A, know who those kids are, and B, relate to them in a way that adults really can't. So those are some of the things that I think would make Delaware Valley's school atmosphere, which I think is very good right now, even better.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Mormile.
Anytime, Carl.
Thank you very much.
Good luck in your game tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you. This is Carl Steffen reporting for Del Valle TV.